just looking at the mocktail names.
Okay, welcome back to Fire Hour. If you're new here, Fire Hour is about working on the best project you'll ever work on, and that's you. And so in today's episode, we're going to continue the laws of leadership and
Sure.
and a bunch of other stuff. Did they come back from Lifestyle Getaway?
Yes, they just got back. I know that there was a very solid team, lots of women, lots of men. Everyone looked like they had so much fun. I'm sure it was life-changing for the first timers.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Lifestyle Getaway. My very first Lifestyle Getaway was I was blown away. She even wrote on my arm. She was like, "If you find this guy, here's the room number."
Did I?
Yeah.
I think that's because you get lost sometimes.
No, that's
That was when
this.
you were still drinking. I was just like, I'm not trying to babysit. And so that's why I probably wrote the room number on you. So in case,
That was when I was a boy.
you needed to get back to the room, you would know where.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's what's off the top of your mind right now?
Mocktail names.
Yeah, I know, but
We have a festival coming up this weekend. It's all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and we're just like tying up all the final pieces.
yeah.
So it's been really exciting, coming together to be able to do something, but also it's been a lot of pressure, but also it's like when you put yourselves in uncomfortable situations or situations you're not used to getting involved in or getting like pulled in so many different directions, it's very interesting. I feel like life is all about growth. I mean, if you're not growing, you're just stagnant, right? You're just complacent, which is fine. I enjoy sometimes like the boring life where there's just like a routine and I can kind of just like settle before I
Mhm.
start something new. But I do think that it's really fun being able to grow as a person, right? And you can't grow as a person if you don't get outside your comfort zone and do things that scare you or do things that, you may not be that good at, right? Like starting over again. And so I think that we're always going through a process of evolving and growth. And it's just very interesting learning different things and kind of like seeing the good and the bad traits of like you as an individual, as a person, and where you still see that there's parts of you that needs work on, right? Because if you do something and you do something really well and you're just used to doing that, like you're good. But when you put yourself in another situation, you start doing something new, you're going to take you with you everywhere you go, right? So that's kind of been the interesting journey for
Mhm.
the entire
Process so far.
yeah, the entire like last year. I was burping,
Don't tell people
but
that.
I was.
Okay, so no, that's true though. I think that it's interesting because once you go on this journey of like working on yourself and just changing who you are within because you're doing the work, what I've noticed, and I'm sure most of you have noticed as well, is there's people in your life who they don't go on the same journey with you in terms of growth. And some people will only develop to this stage while others want to pursue a higher level. They want to pursue more mastery. They want to pursue leveling up their skill set, working on their mindset. They want to actually change something about themselves because they see a different perspective. And I think that one, like
Hmm.
there's two people, right? There's Wayne Dyer, so Dr. Wayne Dyer, and there's Marianne Williamson. And
I
I
was
don't
listening to him last night. Were you looking at my phone?
know, I've been busy. Like, um, when it comes to like ChatGPT. So this is something that I've been playing with, but ChatGPT has a new feature. I mean, it's not that new, but it came out like a month ago or something like that. And it's a voice feature. right? I don't know how many months ago it came out, but it's out there and it's free too. And so you're able to actually I want to pull it up, like ChatGPT app. So you can actually use ChatGPT in voice mode. And if voice is a lot faster than texting and typing, okay? So at least from what I've found. Now, when it comes to doing voice mode, you're able to literally just talk to it as if you're talking to another person. And so I was asking it a few questions about like different types of quotes. And I remember reading like studying Dr. Wayne Dyer and like some of his quotes. And one of the quotes that came to mind yesterday was it relates back to like what Marianne Williamson teaches or has been taught or has gone through, but it's all about perception and perspective and shifts in those two. And basically like the whole summary and connection between both of them, what they're essentially teaching or saying is when your perception changes or shifts, then that's when your internal work is shifting, it's moving, and you're able to look at life differently. And so one of the quotes that Wayne Dyer has is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me just say it again. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay. And so for most of us, like especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and business, right? Our perspective is one way. But when we look at the thing that we're seeing in front of us and we change our belief about it, right? We change our perception, our perspective, our opinion, our belief about that thing. That's when something shifts in our life. And so if you, just for everyone here, like when Thrive first came into your picture, into your life, right? In the beginning, most people, I mean, I don't know about most people, but I'm just gonna talk about myself. So in the beginning, I had a different story in my head. I had a different perspective. I had a different opinion, right? And for me, because I've been in like the direct sales industry in network marketing when I met Crystal for the very first time, like she shared Thrive with me, and my opinion and perspective on Thrive, even though I didn't know anything about it
Mhm.
except for the fact that it was network marketing,
Mhm.
my perspective was, it's not for me. And the reason why it's because I already been in the industry since 2012, right? 2013. And my experience was really not that great. And the reason for that's because I truly believe in our marketing, right? That was like the thing that can you please? Yeah. That like the entrepreneurial business and industry of network marketing is what helped me get to where I am today. And it's also a foundational pillar that helped me with personal development. And I had amazing mentors that changed my life because they changed my perspective, my perception, my belief system. They helped me grow as a person. And so for me, like in 2013 all the way till 2016, I 2012, yeah, I was building full time network marketing. Okay, building full time from day in day out, from 6 a.m. all the way to like sometimes 3 a.m. I'd be working full time on my job and then part time on my fortune. And when it came to my fortune, it was network marketing, right? And so, but the thing is, for me, my experience for 5 years, okay, 5 years of going all out, I didn't make more than $3,000. All right, 5 years going all out. I didn't make more than $3,000. Okay. So for me, when it came back to, the looking at the business side of network marketing, I was just not even open. And the reason for that was simply because of my experience for those 5 years, right? Not only that though, right? In the past, like basically let's just call it a decade, right? I had a lot of different mentors who are multimillionaires, who are people who are very successful. And some of them actually went through network marketing and they only made like, to a certain amount, like let's just call it six figures. And then when they decided to like look at traditional businesses, they're like, you know what? Like I put this is like what I asked them because I'm as a student, I'm always asking for guidance. I'm always asking questions that will give me answers. I'm always asking for, like help really and assistance. And I want to cut my learning curve. I just know that when you have a mentor, when you have a coach, you're able to cut the learning curve because as someone who is guiding you, they're helping you understand like, hey, this is a pitfall right here. Maybe you should look at it differently. Or this is like, the steps I took these are the mistakes I made. Maybe you should avoid them, right? It's up to you, but it's about the student. Like everyone here, like we are both student and teacher, right? So for everyone who shows up, right, you guys are looking and seeking for guidance or seeking for advice or seeking for that 1%er golden nugget that might just be a reminder that helps you scale your business, right? Or helps you like change the way you look at something, right? And so for me, when it came to like, just asking about business, like what should I pursue? What path should I take? One of my friends who is very successful, 7 figures, etc. He made 6 figures in network marketing, and then I asked him like, "Yo, like, why did you switch from network marketing into like your business now?" And he said, "What I realized is when I put in all my blood, sweat, and tears into this vehicle, right? At the time in his network marketing vehicle, he only made this amount, and then when he put the same exact blood, sweat, and tears into this vehicle, it just scaled to 7 figures, right? And so that's why his perspective was, network marketing at the time was just not for me, right? And so that is his perspective. However, like that's only one perspective, one opinion, and it's also about the timing, right? The timing is one of the things that matters the most, right? The right message at the wrong time means nothing. It doesn't translate into action. It doesn't translate into results, right? The right message at the right time changes life, right? It changes people's lives, right? So for me, in 2020, when Crystal shared with me Thrive, I just wasn't open because it was the right message, but at the wrong time for me. You see what I'm saying? And my perspective was completely different, completely shifted because of my prior experiences, the story that's inside my head, the cognitive biases that were not working in my favor. And so whenever you're coming across someone who is, like they're, again, like the hero's journey, right? The call to adventure. Like it's when they're going to shift their status quo into something different. They're going to cross the chasm, basically. Like there's a lot of different, analogies and stories and examples, but when it comes to someone changing their perspective, because maybe it's time for them to change that. Maybe they're having a shift, they're a transition, they're transforming, they're ready for evolution, they're ready for something different. Okay. They want to change their life because they're serious about life change, right? Then guess what? A perspective shift is going to happen. Is it going to be from you? Are you going to be helping them, guiding them, or just sharing with them, like, what? Here's this little piece of advice, this tip that helped me get over the edge, right? Whatever it is, um, like, is it going to be you or is it going to be someone else, right? And is it going to be a book? Is it going to be like a story that you post? Is it going to be a reel that you post? Like, what is it? Is it going to be that conversation that you had, one conversation at Lifestyle Getaway? Like, what is it that's going to help them shift their perspective, their perception, to go from this was my current life and now here's something different. Now I'm on a different path. I'm actually going after mastery. I'm going after leveling up. I'm working on myself. I'm actually serious about, life change. I want to change my family tree financially. I want to do something different. I want to leave a legacy behind. Like, what is it that you are pursuing because of the shifts in perspective that you've had? Okay. And so this was just something that I was like, just talking with ChatGPT yesterday about essentially. Not that to that extent, but it was something that I found interesting because I have to, this weekend, like we're going to be surrounded with a lot of different people. And one of the things that is going to happen at this festival is exactly that. It's a shift in perspective, a shift in perception, a shift, like nonetheless. And so for me, I just want to, sharpen up. I want to like understand different perspectives. And it's like what I was sharing before in a different episode, right? Like you put like this right here. Like this is like you see this as one perspective. And then now as a leader, like you must have all perspectives, right? The more perspectives you have, then the more data and more knowledge and more wisdom you can like gain. And so I just as a leader, I'm shifting it. Like here's the next perspective. Here's the next perspective, next perspective, next perspective, and all everything. Okay. So you see everything. When you see everything, how much more data and like perspectives you have to work with? You have so much. Okay. So this is the importance of experience, right? For everyone who hasn't been to a lifestyle getaway, for example, right? That is an experience and a perspective, a new shift in perspective that can help you on your journey to success, on your journey to whatever you're going after, your vision. Okay. That is one perspective. Coming to the festival is another perspective. This is a whole different perspective now, right? We're talking about love, unity, connection, community, going after charity, like donating, supporting society, all these different things, bringing people together in a whole different perspective, right? And then there's a bunch of different people that will be there. And all these people, like they're entrepreneurs, they're visionaries, they're artists, they're dreamers, they're investors, there's high level people, there's people from all walks of life. Like this is like what I'm seeing in the data, right? I'm seeing all of this. All the people that we're connecting with, I'm texting in the messages, going on phone calls, going in the DMs, getting voice messages, influencers shouting us out, seeing like all the audiences like reactions, all these different things are all just perspective shifts, right? They're all just perspectives. And again, as a leader, right? Because Fire Hour is about leadership development. When it comes to doing something like of this caliber, like there's going to be a bunch of people who are attracted to it, and from all walks of life, simply because of the level of the stage, level of the platform. And something that I really like, what Marianne Williamson said, she said this like on Oprah's TV network, right? And this was like over 10 years ago, okay? Because I didn't know who she was. And then so I wanted to research so I can just get familiar.
I think we both didn't know who she was, right?
Mm,
This was like, this
yeah.
is how we found out about her.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Yeah, we found out about her because of this festival. And so there was like a 3 minute clip and Oprah was asking her about like, how like how people want to be heard, okay? People want to be heard, but they feel like they don't have a platform to voice their opinion on. And Marianne was like, everyone's life is their platform, right? So my platform is me. Crystal's platform is her. Nico right here in the comments, you are your platform. Every single one of us is our own platform. And then the beauty of having access to social media is that we're able to use our platform and then use our voice, send our message out into the world. And so like that was just something fascinating to me because in today's time, especially with everything that's happening in the world, both good and bad, whatever you want to call it, like the time is now to use our platforms for the greater good, in my opinion, right? And that's the whole reason why we're doing the nonprofit. That's the whole reason why as I get older and I start to like just understand and learn more and just become better as a leader, because I'm truly working on leadership development. I'm truly working on myself, right? That's why we do Fire Hour. That's only one of the reasons. But when we are leaders, right, and we're going out there into the world, like the platform that we are sharing and hosting and providing is first and foremost ourselves, right? It's first and foremost us. And then when leaders come together to build something greater, like something bigger than ourselves, that platform that is now being created is going to be bigger than ourselves. Therefore, it's going to attract all types of people from all walks of life. And so the importance, like the key takeaway from this is that, for you, as you start to ascend and you start to level up and you start to really deepen your mastery and you start to really work on yourself, which I know you are because you show up on Fire Hour. If you are working on yourself and you're actually doing the work, you're serious about shaping up your mindset, changing your perspective, leveling up yourself, growing within, right? You're going to be naturally elevating your platform. And when you elevate your platform yourself, right, the best project you'll ever work on, you will naturally attract better, right? You're going to naturally attract leaders who are working on themselves, naturally going to attract people who are attracted to leveling up, attracted to getting a different lifestyle, attracted to upgrading their life, attracted to helping more people, attracted to making more impact, attracted to doing something greater than themselves. And so that's the whole entire takeaway that I got from just that one clip. It's like we are the platform. You are the platform. Now, how big do you want to go is up to you, but you'll find, or at least I hope that you notice, there's going to be people on your journey that are only going to level up like this. And there's going to be people on your journey who are going to level up like this. And it's going to keep on going. And who's in control of that, right? Who's the one that's in control of the person that is going to level up, right? It's you. It's only you. Okay. And that's the whole point, right? The whole point is like how big do you want to go? Like how deep do you want to develop? How hard do you want to go in your business? How hard do you want to go in your mindset? Like what do you want to do, right? What do you want to to gain? What do you want to receive? What do you want to put out into the world? Like it's really all up to you. And so you can like I'll tell you this right now, like you can choose to quit. You can choose to stop developing. You can choose to not show up. You can choose to just say I'm good, but what is that going to do for everyone else around you? What is that going to do for your children, your future family, for the people that need you the most in life, for those leaders that you look up to, like for everyone that's around you? Okay. Remember the law of 33%, right? There's people who are like, just they're just starting out. There's people who are on your level, and there's people who are already like surpassed and they're giving the wisdom. Like that's up to you. Like you're surrounded by all three. And when it comes to being surrounded by them, the people are always watching, right? Especially the sharp ones. The people who are sharp, they're always watching, taking notes. They're always taking that mental notes, seeing who's out there, seeing who's the next person that they can partner with, seeing who's the person that they can invest in, seeing who's the person that, this person's going to do something great. Like I'm going to see them through their journey. I want to see it, right? So there's people like that all over. And when it translates into a business, right? Let's just talk about business because this is a business call. Like remember, this is what we said before. This was like Fire Hour season 3 or something. I don't remember.
I thought it was 4.
No, this is Fire Hour season 4, but we talked about this topic like in season 3, I'm pretty sure. 2023 basically. So like there's 3 types of people, right? In terms of like just wealth and like finances, etc. Like the last category is investor, right? The second one is like entrepreneur, like builder, okay, business builder, okay? And then the other one is employee, okay? So you're working for someone, you're working for yourself, or you're investing in those, in those assets. And so for us, like I'm going to share with you, okay? Just this is just my opinion, obviously, and it depends on how you want to live your life. But for me, my goal is just to stay in the investor role as much as possible. And the reason for that is because I'm a strategist. I'm a business strategist, right? And I have a marketing expertise, but when combining those two, like for me, it makes most sense. Like if I were to ask myself, what would like how can I benefit someone else the most? It would be more in this category, in the investor side. And the reason for that is because as a business strategist and as a marketing strategist, like that would be my best contribution to someone else. Does that make sense? Right. And so, like for example, with Star Motorworks, right? With Star Motorworks, marketing, right? My best expertise that I can provide to Star Motorworks is the marketing asset. And so therefore, I'm only going to stay in my lane as much as possible in the marketing side, right? Because if I do anything else, if I try to build like work on cars, I'm pretty sure the business is going to fail. Okay. But if I stay in my marketing lane, I'm pretty sure the business will succeed. Okay. So it's like that simple. So for you, if you're working full time in your job, right? Whatever your contribution to that job is, like become the best asset, become irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indispensable in that full-time job. And here's why. It's because it's part of networking. If you work in a big company, whatever company you work on, okay, full time, it's your full-time job. You're spending at least 8 to 10 hours there every single day, okay, like Monday through Friday, basically, right? That is your opportunity to network to the top. That's what I did. Okay. Network to the top. That's your goal in that. And if you're working, part-time on your fortune or you have a business like full-time in your business, your job is to make this business as successful as possible, right? Part of this journey right here in both is leadership development. Okay. Is working on yourself. Number 3, right? Investor role. Every single person, full-time employee, full-time business owner, and investor. Investors, unless they were born with wealth, they don't have money. They had to build it up, right? So you put money aside over time. You allocate those resources through financial education. You allocate those resources into different assets. This asset, this financial nest that you're putting in, is going to build over time. It takes years and decades, depending on the vehicle that you put it in. But that's the goal of an investor. It's like, because here's the thing, like this is something I was wrestling with myself yesterday. Again, like because I'm trying to figure out, like, all right, what, like, if we all have 24 hours in the day, all right, all of us, 24 hours in the day, how do people because someone was asking me this. Like someone asked me like a question about like making more money basically, but they're stuck in a situation where they can't make more money. But the thing is that they just don't know. They just don't know. That's it. Okay. So like this is why I was like thinking about this yesterday. But basically like I was thinking about like billionaires at this point. And I'm like, all right, well, this billionaire has 24 hours in a day. So when it comes to them running their business, like I know that they don't want to spend 24 hours of their day working on their business because they've gotten to a certain level where they don't need to do that. And so their whole mindset and perspective now shifts to the investor side. And their whole decision making process is what is going to be from one decision. I'm going to make one decision. What is the maximum ROI that I can get from this one decision? Right? So they eliminate time and they only think about incremental and exponential growth. And that's it. And that's what an investor does. When it comes to your finances, right? When you're investing, this is not financial advice, but this is just perspective. Okay. When it comes to investing your money that you put aside, what vehicle are you putting it in to get you the most ROI? Right. In the beginning, I know you can talk more about this and go deeper because you're the expert in this. I'm just giving my opinion, but so when it comes to full-time like job, full-time business owner, and then investor, right? Every single one of us, every whatever position you're in, okay, it doesn't matter. Like every single one of us shares the same 24 hours in a day, and because of that, we are able to make decisions based on data and based on, knowledge, wisdom, and education. And so for all of us, if you had to make one decision, just take 5 minutes to do it, right? Just take a day to do it. Take one day to like literally think through and think big and think about like what is going to be the maximum ROI that I can get from one decision. What decision are you going to make? Okay. So I know I'm like going all over the place right now, but I'm making a point. And for those of you who are, and the reason why I'm making it generic, this is something that like this is something that is important to do as a leader, especially when you're talking to a crowd, is if you want to, this is like at least like something I found if you're talking to multiple people, it's not very specific because it depends on the topic. But for this specific topic that I'm sharing right now, I'm doing a big picture overview in a sense because there's so many different perspectives on the call today, right? And I don't know what topic or sentence or word is going to resonate with every single one of us. And so therefore I'm making it very big picture because maybe you're going to connect with something that I said this way. Maybe someone else is going to connect something that I said this way, and so forth. Okay. And so, sorry, babe, did you want to speak?
No, I was stretching.
Oh, okay. So, like when it comes to like your finances, right? Again, like for me, my pursuit is I'm moving away from full-time business owner because I want to do multiple businesses, but full-time in all of them and shrink that full-time as low as possible to 1 hour a day only, if not even less than that. So that way I can spend all my time in the investor role. I can spend all my time and for me, my position is business strategy, marketing strategy. As long as I could be a strategist full time, that means that I personally am hitting my milestones. I'm hitting my own like responsibilities, I guess. I don't know the word.
I would say you're sticking in your strengths, right? Like working in your weaknesses, you're not going to get very far. There's a lot of things that, you may not be the best in. I may not be the best in. So why would I like try my best to do something that I know I'm not good at, right? And again, that's the beauty of a team. But it's also about growth. If you're in something and it's new to you and you're trying to reach a level of success that you've never had before, but you have someone that has been there, done that, then you look at them, and you're like, hey, how do I do this? What do I do? Like, show me the way. And at first, sometimes you're not going to be that good. Like, but as you put in more repetition, you're going to get better, right? But what you're talking about is more so once you've gone to a certain level where now it's like, hey, you did the hard work, you put in the blood, sweat, tears, right? You basically put in your sweat equity into something and you became deadly at it. now you have options, right? You have more options in life for you. And I think that, most of the time, I would say most people are looking for time freedom. They're looking for options in life. Like, who wants to be told what to do every single day of their life, right? Like, it's your life. You want to live it the way you want to live it. If you want to take a day off, you want to spend time with your kids, you don't want to do this or that. Like, why would you not have the option to not do that, right?
Mhm.
You have to create those options for yourself. And so I would say the beauty of doing this business in particular is the fact that you don't have to put a lot of money out, if any at all, in order to build something that can exceed what you make in a like 9 to 5 now, right?
Mhm.
No income claims. Not everyone makes it there. They don't, right? And so this industry, your comp plan, your personal development, your level of leadership is attached to a comp plan, basically, right? Where the stronger you develop as a person, it's attached to a comp plan. It's kind of like the higher you go. And that's like in a job, and that's like in a business too.
Yeah.
The more skill sets you develop within yourself, people are going to see that. And when they see that and you become irreplaceable, they're going to know that they have to, pay a little bit more attention to you and make sure you're well taken care of. Because if you're irreplaceable, you can take yourself and you can go anywhere else and be that same type of person for someone else or something else with a higher comp plan attached to it, right? And
Yeah.
so working for your options, working for your own freedom, like if you don't have that yet, like that's on you. It's on you,
Yeah.
and it's on you to achieve that. And when you tell yourself that you're responsible for your life and the outcomes that happen and the decisions that you make, things will change rapidly, right? And so it's about accountability, it's about discipline, it's about consistency, but it's also about clarity. Like, do
Mhm.
you really want it? Because if you really want it, like no matter how many trainings you hop on, no matter how many mentors you listen to, like you are always going to find a way. So also trust in yourself that if you are very crystal clear on what you want, you will find a way to get it regardless of what your situation looks like in front of you. Regardless of what you see, you can have the things you envision, but you have to be very clear and make a decision, right? And from that decision, when you're very clear in yourself and what you want and your goal, then you do a laser like focus and you just go after that goal and after that goal only. And you will always find a way to figure it out, or someone to ask questions to that knows something that's going to give you an answer to help you, right? So yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like that's true because the universe will test you. Like this world will test you. Most people say that the world's not fair, but the truth is that it is fair, right? It is fair. And the cards that you are dealt with, like it may not look fair and it is unfortunate at times, obviously. But like you still have yourself. You still have your own, you're the one that's in control, okay, of your situation. That's why like when you hear like people's stories of like they were, like in a completely like 180, complete 180 in their world. And then they were the ones that changed their life, right? They changed their life to become something completely different. If like, I know that we see this, okay? I know that we see this out there. There's always people out there who have gone through like the worst things and then they come out, their whole life is completely different. It was because of them, okay? They did it. They went and did the work. And then from there, they transformed their life. And I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure it took a shift in perspective, a shift in perception of their life. And guess what? When that shift happened, transformation happened. And when transformation happened, new actions were taken to get a new result. And so that was something that you said too that I wanted to add on to, but I forgot.
I am unforgettable.
Oh no, I remember now. So it was about Jim Rohn, right? Oh man.
I don't remember talking about Jim
No, I
Rohn,
know.
but maybe there was something that I said that reminded you of something you learned from.
Yeah, it's okay. It's in Jim Rohn said this, okay? So he said he said that whatever job you're doing, okay? So let's say for example, like this is for people who are employed, okay? You are working in a job right now. this Jim Rohn said this. He said to like quote, it's about like who you're becoming in a job. Like you have to ask yourself, like, who am I becoming? Right. So like this is man, can you look it up? Sorry, because I think it's really important. Just put like Jim Rohn's like job. Does anyone know it?
You do it. You might
Okay,
have
sorry.
better, you might have more work. Okay, so what I also wanted to touch on while he tries to find that is most of the time I see the biggest shift when people stop living in that victim mentality, right? Like it's so easy to fall into that trap of a victim mentality where it's like it's somebody else's fault or it's some other reason why you are not achieving a certain goal or you're not getting your way, right? Like it's always someone else or something else, right?
Mhm.
And you're just like, oh, poor me, boo-hoo, I always have to do this or I always have to be in this role or that role, right? But like what we were talking about earlier today, perspectives, right? When you shift your perspective and you start to look at things differently, your mentality is going to shift because if you constantly put yourself in a victim mentality, you're basically saying you have no control over your life and everyone and everything outside of you has control of what happens, right? You're not taking your life and your role as a leader into your hands and saying like if you don't like something change it, right? You worked this hard to be able to build the time freedom and the options that you have in life. Why can you not live your life the way you want to live it, right? Like is anyone paying your bills and taking care of you? No. Okay, well, you make your own decisions, you pay your own bills and you have your own thing going on, like you do what you want to do. And so when your mindset shifts from I'm a victim to all these things into like, no, I'm going to take my power back. Like, I have control over my life and I'm going to do what I want and when I want, as long as I'm not hurting anyone or taking anything from anyone that did not belong to me. Right.
Mhm.
And so working towards that, yeah, sometimes not, sometimes a lot of times finances come into play, right? Because it's like, who are you sharing your bills with? Who's paying your bills and who's making sure that things happen so that you have an opportunity or options to be able to really scale yourself or put yourself somewhere in a position that you couldn't get there on your own before, right?
Mhm.
And then just really shifting your perspective, like what is in your head every day? What are your thoughts, right? Because your thoughts matter, thoughts turn into things. And so Jackie says, yeah, no one can change your life. Um, no one can change your life. You can what is that?
Let
Make that thing go away.
me
Shut.
do it. Let me do it.
Make that little, oh, thank you. Okay. See?
Jackie says.
No one can change your life. They can only introduce you to new tools. When you experience change, it's because you took the steps, you did the work. When you experience loss, you missed a step and didn't do the work. Always have to be accountable for our actions. Stop trying to change the past and move forward. Moving forward could look like letting go.
Mm.
And sometimes we have to let go of things, right? We have to let go of people, relationships, jobs, businesses, or big parts of us that no longer serve us. It was what we needed when we needed at that time, but we're becoming someone new. And so to become someone new, we got to do things a little bit differently and we got to think a little bit differently, right? So growth, right? Growth, perspective change, and taking accountability. Like there's so many things and people to blame in this world. Like there's an infinite amount, right? But at the point when you blame yourself in a positive way, you take control and you take power back and you're like, you know what? Like this is my life. I'm going to live it how I want to. As long as I know that I'm doing my part to the best of my ability, then great, and honestly, becoming irreplaceable in an organization or in a community or within your own family structure, like you can never go wrong going that extra mile. It is never crowded there. It is never
Yeah.
crowded at the extra mile. Most people don't want to take on more things than what they're paid for or what they get credit for, right? But that's not a leader because as a leader, you go first, right? That's what Jackie always says. If you're a leader, you go first. And you go through uncharted territories sometimes, but some people have been through those uncharted territories before. There's books, there's videos, there's people that you know have been there, done that. Like, seek answers from them, ask them questions, right? And asking questions is a sign of curiosity. It is also a sign of intelligence. When I have someone come to me and they ask me a lot of questions, I know that their mind is thinking. They're thinking and they're unafraid to open their mouths and possibly risk looking dumb, right? Like, there is no dumb answers, right? There's no dumb questions, right? Because you have never had a certain perspective before, and now you're asking for answers. And so asking questions is a sign of intelligence. Like, you can't be afraid of asking questions. And most of the time, people don't want to ask questions because they don't want to look dumb or they're insecure, right? And nowadays we have AI. We have had Google for a long time, and now we have AI with that, right? So ask AI questions. Hey, I'm a this, and this is what I'm trying to do. Like, give me a game plan, and like keep refining it, right? There's so many resources out there that wasn't available 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. So it's like we really have all the options in the world to be able to become successful in whatever we want to become successful in. But it's about shifting that mentality, getting out of that victim mentality, asking questions, seeking mentors, or like really developing your level of leadership, regardless if you have a team, regardless if you have anyone following you or not, you will, as long as you start to change yourself first. It is not crowded when you go the extra mile, right? It is not crowded there ever.
Yeah, never. It's not. And like that naturally happens, right? People will qualify themselves out naturally. They will decide to stop naturally. Like, that's on them. Like, don't worry about those people. Like,
Yeah.
just worry about yourself. Focus only on you, and that's it. And so, like Jim Rohn, like, this is for everyone who's working, full time in your job. Okay. This is a really important question that I've found. Like, I think that if I asked myself this question in all the jobs that I had, my life would be completely different. Okay. Because my perspective would shift. But Jim Rohn says this. He said, the most important question to ask on the job is not, what am I getting? Okay. Don't ask that question. He says, don't ask that question. Don't ask, what am I getting from this job?
Yeah.
He says, the most important question to ask on the job is, what am I becoming? Okay. What am I becoming? So when it comes to like your job, okay, and when it comes to any position, basically, any position that you're in, so whether you're a full-time employee, full-time business owner, or part-time, or investor, okay, like all three of these questions are still the same. Okay, it's what am I becoming in the process, right? For me, like let's say for example, with investing my time into the nonprofit, with the nonprofit, like I'm not getting anything from that. Okay. I'm not, it's a nonprofit for a reason.
You are non-profiting from a nonprofit, y'all.
I'm non-profiting from a nonprofit. Okay. So, but when am I becoming in the process of this pursuit of putting something into the world, right? That I truly believe in? What am I becoming? I can ask myself this question even in this position. What am I becoming? Right. Well, guess what? I'm becoming someone that, has to do the work. Like I'm becoming a better leader because that's what I want to do. That is one of my pursuits in my life. I want to become the best person I can become. Well, guess what? Being in this position of being the CEO of the nonprofit, like that is a huge responsibility for me. So guess what? What am I becoming in this position? Right? There's going to be a point in this nonprofit. I already know like the business cycles of life, okay? Or the life cycle of businesses. So let me share with you guys this. Let me ask you guys a question. When a business becomes very famous, okay? When a business becomes famous in the world, what tends to happen to the people that are a part of the business? They too, especially in today's world with society and social media, right? They get featured on the news. They get featured by celebrities. They get featured by influencers. They get featured by blah, blah, blah. All these people, okay? Attention gets shined onto them. When you look at like Elon Musk, for example, okay? Just any billionaire out there that's in the public eye, right? what is happening to them in their personal brands right now? Their personal brands are getting a lot of attention, right? And so then when this personal brand, when this leader says anything, and then social media just happens to clip it, that is out there into the world. That message is out into the world. So for me, knowing this foresight, okay, knowing this foresight as someone who is in a position where the potential of this organization becoming very known in the world is out there, everyone, because I just know business and I've been through this with Ty Lopez already. I just know what happens. For me, because I have this foresight, one of my pillars for myself is how can I become the best person I can be? And how can I become the most benevolent leader possible that I can be? Because if this future event is going to happen, I better be prepared for it. I better be prepared for it sooner than later. Because when the time comes and that happens and I'm not prepared, it will show. Okay. I don't want the lack of my development to show when that event happens. Right. So that's why, like, one of my commitments on Fire Hour is to work on the best project I'll ever work on, which is myself. And when it comes to working on myself and even discussing this to everyone out here publicly, right? What am I saying that may impact someone here, both negatively and positively, right? That's why everything that I say, it matters for me because it's part of who I am. It's part of my platform. It's part of my voice, my message. And this is in the public. So 10 years from now, if YouTube still exists, which I'm sure it will, right? Anyone can see this video and be like, hey, how was this guy back then before all this happened? How was this guy? What was his mindset like back then before all this happened? If you look at people like, let's say Marcus Aurelius, okay, the emperor of Rome, right? He had a book called Meditations, right? And guess what? It was not a book. It was his own personal journal that no one was supposed to be able to read. It was supposed to be thrown in the fire and just destroyed when he passed away. However, for whatever reason, it did not happen. And therefore, his meditations are out there into the world, the public eye. You are able and have access to one of the greatest leaders in history, their thoughts, their own personal ideas and thoughts that they were wrestling with. You literally have, it's one search away. You literally go youtube.com, you literally type in Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and you click on whichever one has the full audio version. And then from there, you listen and you learn and you take notes and you wrestle with it, the ideas, whatever it is that you want to do. Like, but that right there, you have access to someone's personal thoughts. This right here, Fire Hour, is kind of like our personal journal in a sense, where we are sharing our personal thoughts, right? Our personal ideas, right? And so people like this, like one of those, like for me personally, one of my selfish reasons for posting and publishing and journaling like this is selfishly, because I'm pretty sure my kids won't really care.
They don't care now.
Yeah, but you know, if they even have some like some inkling of curiosity to see like, hey, like what was my dad thinking about at this time, at this reason, like when this was happening, etc. Right? And they literally just go on YouTube and they're like, you know what? Let's just type in Shungana or Crystal Chow or Resurreccion Media or Fire Hour, whatever, and from there, boom, like they see this video and they're like, oh, this is what they were wrestling with today. This is what at this period in time, these were the thoughts in their mind. Because if I'm sharing this through my mouth, I'm sharing my voice, I'm sharing my opinion, that is going from thoughts, okay? That is it's thoughts to mouth, right? It's basically I'm just translating my thoughts into words, right? And so that's what's in my mind. And there's a quote, trying to remember the quote. Gosh.
Getting rusty.
I think I'm just getting
Iron,
tired.
exactly, which means you're getting rusty because you should never be tired.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron, right? So before we did more work on ourselves, within ourselves and with each other as a couple, I would say we were always like going at it, right? Like, let's be honest. But as you start to do the work within your own self and within your own relationship, it stops being as explosive, right? Or it stops being as it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. So there's a quote that one of our mentors have taught us, and they were the ones that really helped us stick together and really develop through a lot of situations. And it's iron sharpens iron. So now, like, sometimes we'll joke with each other and say things here and there, but it's like, it's not in a negative light. It's like, it's kind of like, oh, shoot, if he's saying that to me or she's saying that to me, let me think about it. Okay, let me see what I can do now, right? So it's shifting from that victim mentality into the mentality of I can be better and I can do better. And if I don't like my situation, then it's up to me and it's fully within my control and my actions to change everything that I want, right? Because again, like, you can either blame people or you can blame yourself in a positive way that if you're not liking something, then you're probably not fully in control of yourself, your emotions, or your actions that's not getting you XYZ result, right? So, yeah.
Man, there it's still trying to remember the quote. But basically, like Nico says, can I get some of that
Yes,
matrix water?
actually, shout out to Mind Body Matrix. They are delivering 6,000 packages of this at Love Rising, complimentary, right? So they are hydrating our festival goers. So yes, when you come see us on Saturday, or if you're there early on Friday, but yeah, Saturday, just let us know and we'll direct you to the water station.
Yeah, and this is actually our first time drinking it.
Yeah.
So
It's very high
good.
vibrational. So it improves athletic performance. Yeah. So
It's water. So,
hydrogen
but
water.
yeah, it's fire though. It's
Hydrogen
fire.
water, which is different than alkaline, and both are good in different ways. So
Yeah. Jackie says, who's going? Jackie, thank you so much for contributing your
yeah,
energy, your time, your efforts,
your love,
your love.
mostly your love. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I fell asleep to your meditation last night. Like, your voice is so angelic. I just fell in love with you all over again. So I listened to both of them. I think they were both great. And I'm so excited for people to be able to experience that. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, same here. And you know what? Like this really aligns with the today's episode because like for everyone here, right? Like Jackie, we know at least up until now, we know Jackie as Jackie the Thriver, right?
Mhm.
Well, guess what? Now, do you have an AKA
For what?
for her
So her business is called Reiki Risen.
Reiki Risen?
Yeah. So it's
Oh,
not an
okay.
AKA. It's like she's the founder of Reiki Risen. And basically she's going to do like a guided meditation with beautiful music. And then she's gonna do like a group Reiki session.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this really aligns with like today's call. Hey, Jackie, do you want to
Dude, it
just
was
share?
so good. Yeah, please tell me like how you did all the music, because I was just like, this is so good. Eventually we're going to have programs for the Love Tower, and I would like love to have like your guided meditation with all that beautiful music on like one of the programs for like the world to hear it.
Yes.
Well, you know what? The music is royalty free. But anyways, thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I was gonna be there anyways. She told me, she's like, I want you to just be there and experience everything because there's so many workshops, there's so many she wanted me to experience the whole thing, but she's like, hey, I know it's last minute. And I'm like, yes, I've already been prepping for this, right? Like I think it was in July. I had learned new skills, and thank you to this business because like I actually learned how to video edit and chop up some stuff when Twin and I were doing what were we doing? We were doing an opportunity like recording in January, right? We wanted to have that ready for you guys. And I'm like, hey, like let me learn how to do this. Twin and I were chopping it up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the best pieces and parts and put them into this video editing app. And they had like music, I was playing around with it for a little bit. And you guys know I started my Reiki business, I think like last year, but Thrive consumes all my time, you guys. Like my time goes to this, right? So the nicks and crannies that I do get, I work on my Reiki business. And I have these meditations, like some of these meditations are, from, William Lee Rand, who is basically the, he's the Reiki guy in the US, right? But I wanted to put a little twist on it. And you guys, I do use AI, and the conversations I have with AI, and I think this is a whole nother course and everything that we need to like just explain to people, because AI is a weapon, you guys. It is a weapon. Like my prompts for AI are long, but it's literally like me sitting down with like somebody I'm consulting with, right? Where I'm like, hey, my name's Jackie. I'm the founder of Reiki Risen. I was asked to speak at an event for it's called Love Rising, and this is the purpose of it, right? I was saying that, it's about like love and consciousness and unity. And then I said, I have to do an activation. I wanted to do, this meditation called the Ocean of Holy Love, which it knows what the Ocean of Holy Love is. And I said, can you do this? Can you make me an introduction, introducing me and making it directly for the Love Rising Festival? And do the meditation. And then, I wanted to have like a closing outro and bringing people back to consciousness, and then boom, so it spits out something. And then anything that I see in there that is a little bit too like technical, or it's just like I wouldn't want to hear that if I was meditating, I'm like, can you change this, can you change that? And I literally went back and forth with ChatGPT until I had the perfect script, right? And you guys, like, it's literally like just having a personal assistant or even like a professional at whatever it's doing, right? That you can just tell it what to do and then it'll give you an answer. If you're not happy with the answer, then you make the little tweaks, like you make the revisions, right? So, and you guys, like, I am super busy, like super, super, super busy. I literally had to put this together in like a couple days, but I already had my basis of it. I just wanted it to be exactly for Love Rising. And I wanted, and yesterday I saw the script. I'm like, okay, threw it on Zoom. I went onto Zoom. I have my little microphone. I recorded on Zoom. And Zoom has settings, you guys, where you guys can drown out the background noise and stuff. And then I just recorded it from like start to finish. And then I took those pieces and I stuck it on top of the music. And there's a lot. There's curating it. If you're a creative, like, of course, this meditation is called the Ocean of Holy Love. So I was like, I looked for like, certain clips and stuff that had like ocean water and like that were like very dramatic, that people would be going through the journey. So if you guys are going to be at Love Rising, you guys will get to experience it. It is on YouTube right now, but I'm not going to release it until the festival is over. Because it's an experience. Like, this is the same experience, but in my version that actually like had me bursting out into tears, you guys. Like, this same meditation, when I was getting Reiki attuned, had me in the water with my dad's ashes. Like, that's how deep and transformative this meditation is and what it means to me, and it's something that I'm giving back to the world at Love Rising. So anyways,
That's amazing.
I'm so excited for it. I'm like tearing up. It's just crazy because like when he was talking about like why we leave videos for our kids, or like you always want to leave something behind for them, whether it's a journal you write in, some of the things that you've gone through and how you've gotten out of it, or whether it's videos. Like, I was starting to tear up because I was starting to think like I wish my dad had more things than like scrap pieces of paper with like all his business plans and all his business ideas. Like like it's a dedication to the people before you, like your ancestors and their ancestors. And it's also like anything and everything you do in your life is also a dedication towards your kids or your kids' kids. Or if you don't have kids now, it's the people around you, it's your community, it's the people you love, you care about, your family and your friends. Like, being a better person and developing yourself as a leader and going the extra mile, it never hurt anybody to be constantly improving yourself, right? You will have more options and freedom. And so we're so excited to have Jackie. Like, it was so last minute because I'm not really the creative type when it comes to festivals and music and art and curating an experience, right? Like, I know that's not one of my strengths. So one of our other team members, she's been curating everything, a couple of them, right? And so I was just like, wait, like there's a spot, like let me grab Jackie, because people like have to experience her and like hear her out. And she's always been so supportive of us from like the very beginning. I'm like, let us give her like some type of platform to like really like show her magic to people, right? So we are so excited. Thank you so much for saying yes. It's amazing. I listened to it last night. It's so beautiful. Love
Thank you,
you.
Jackie. Thank you so much. This is fire. Yeah, so it's, like this, just to wrap up today's episode, but like that right there is Jackie using her platform, right? And all of us here, we have a new perspective on, oh wow, like this is what Jackie's doing. This is also who she is. And guess what? Like this widens and actually opens up opportunities. Opens up connections, opens up abundance. It amplifies the love in the world. It really is doing so much greater good for everyone who enjoys it, right? And who receives it. And so, yeah, shout out to you, Jackie. Thank you so much for doing that. And we are very excited to see you at Love Rising. So, so now, it's stages. Yes. Yeah. So to wrap up, and Nico, this weekend is going to be so transformative. I cannot wait. Connective consciousness, unity, and love. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Nico. And so, to wrap up the episode, right? Every single one of us here has our platform, right? We are the platform. And what are you going to do with that platform? What is your message to the world? What is your contribution to society? What is your contribution to yourself? What is it that you need to do? And what do you want to do? And what is your desired result? Like, what do you truly want to give to the world? Because it's you. Like, you are the best version and you are the best that in this world. It's because of you that makes this life and this world just amazing and
Better
magical.
place.
Yeah. And so, like that was definitely the better words for sure. Like the ones I was trying to find, but like without you in this world, without you, literally every single one of you, without you in this world, the world would not be a better place. And so because you are here, the world is a better place. And so with that said, you know what? Like just to leave this episode with a call to action, right? What is your call to action? What is
Your message.
your message to the world, right? What are you going to do with your platform, with you, right? Yourself. The best version and best project you'll ever work on, right, is you. So what are you going to do with it, right? For our next episode, I think that Jackie touched up on a really great point of AI. So we can probably dive into that. Next,
He's like the master prompter. He is so good.
I don't tell anyone that. So,
Whoops.
so yeah. So for everyone who's coming to Love Rising, it's in 3 days. Okay.
Saturday and Sunday. And if you aren't coming and you'd love to share about the festival for anyone else that wants to connect, experience love and unity, and go on this transformative journey with the world. And we also have a live stream meditation.
Yeah.
So actually, if you guys go on the website, we are going to have a live streamed meditation where we're going to do a music enhanced heart meditation. And we're going to drop everyone just from their minds into their hearts to project out love. And it's going to, all that love that we accumulate, we're just going to project it out into the world for world peace and also for those that have been going through it on the East Coast. So if you guys can't join us in person live for the transformative experience, we do have a free live stream that you guys can register for. So you can drop in with us during the same time and just project more love out into the world. Like everyone matters, everything matters.
Yeah. And we need all the help we can get, right? This is for the nonprofit. Like we need all the help we can get. And so if you're coming to attend, like that is helping us. If you are sharing the message, that is helping us. If you are dropping into the meditation for world peace, that is helping us. If you are just sending good energy and positive vibes, that is helping us. Okay. So with that said, we love you all. Have an amazing day. Crush it. Dominate your path. Use your platform and use your voice to send your message out to the world. All right. We love you all.
Love you guys.
Have an amazing day.
Bye.
See you next time. Let's get it.